Thanks to the American lady who's now telling us recording is in progress. So Gemma and Jove, I leave it up to you and we'll be all muted. Thank you very much indeed.
Good morning, everyone. So I'm Gemma and I have a company called Pure Mess, and we make beautiful natural skincare products. And it started in 2016 after my second breast cancer diagnosis. I have unfortunately had a third since then, but I'm all good now. Yeah, and the business, I guess because of how it came about, has become really important, you know, to me. And one of the things that was really important, I guess, was I wanted to be able to grow something that ultimately I could sort of leave my family or have my family involved in, you know, that, you know, if the worst case scenario happened, but, you know, that they could also be very proud of. And I think we're definitely doing that now. And one of the things that happened in our family was that Jove is not only our apprentice, but he's also my son, my youngest. And he was, you know, doing school, and then he, you know, as most of them do, he went he went on to do A-levels, but was always determined that he didn't want to go to university and he wanted to do an apprenticeship. And unfortunately, the school he was at, it's very, as unfortunately I think a lot of schools are, really do push to get their kids to uni. And there's not a lot about apprenticeships. So at the end of Jove's first year, I'm sure he can tell you a bit more about this, but at the end of his first year of A-levels, he sort of said, you know, why am I sticking around to do my second year when I already know I want to do an apprenticeship? And it was really very much down to us to go and find out about what apprenticeships were out there. And basically all we did was Google, you know, and Jove wanted to do digital marketing. So we were basically Googling apprenticeships in digital marketing. And once you do that, the government website is actually very helpful, and it shows you those organizations that offer the apprenticeships and how they're graded. So we instantly went for one of the companies that had the 5 stars, you know, that so that we knew what he was going to be doing would be useful. There's lots of different levels of apprenticeships, so you can get them for GCSEs, A-levels, university degree equivalents. And I think I'm hoping amongst businesses that the sort of attitude towards having apprenticeships has changed. It used to be sort of seen a bit as those kids who maybe weren't quite so bright would then do the apprenticeships, where it really isn't like that anymore. And the apprenticeships actually used to be very much practically based. So you would do them in, plumbing, or, you know, being an electrician or something like that. Whereas now there's apprenticeships in a whole range of really, really interesting subjects. And for us, the fact that Jove wanted to do this digital marketing apprenticeship, it became clear quite quickly to us as a small business that how actually helpful that would be to us. As a business, not just as a mum, he's worth his weight in gold. You know, I'll get him to show you some of the statistics, but the business has grown exponentially since he's come on board. It's, you know, our social media presence has grown, our social media engagement has grown. Jove is basically responsible for all aspects of our marketing. So he does all of the social media, all of the emails. So he does Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, a little bit of Twitter, but he sends out weekly emails. We have planning meetings where we decide what we're doing for sort of Q1, Q2, Q3. He's been with us for a year now. And I would actually thoroughly recommend trying it in your business if you haven't done so, because I hate to say it, but it's a really cheap way of getting somebody who can make a massive difference in your business. They get paid a pittance, but for us, that's actually really beneficial, because as a small business, it's about all you can afford. So, you know, he does a normal working week like the rest of us. And I think his pay is something ridiculous, like £4.83 an hour. You do get also government incentives. So if you hire an apprentice of any age, you get a £3,000 bonus from the government for having an apprentice. And you get half of that after their first 90 days and the other half when they finish the apprenticeship. If you hire an apprentice who is under 18, you then get an extra £1,000 on top of that. The downside, I would say, for us as a business has been, funnily enough, the government. We've actually struggled to get paid, and it's because they are overrun, according to them, with, you know, having to pay people. We use some of the money to buy Jove sort of his own laptop, and a few other just bits and pieces, so that, you know, he would be sort of independent. I think when he speaks, he can tell you sort of better than I can about how much he's learned, because he's the company he's working for or doing the apprenticeship with, they've been brilliant as well. And he can sort of tell you a bit more about what actually the apprenticeship entails. So Jove, if you want to take over and talk about, you know, sort of the amount of time you spend with us and the amount of time you spend doing your apprenticeship and what you feel you've learned, etc., working for a small business in particular.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I was speaking to my, well, when you start an apprenticeship, you get a development coach, which will work with you the whole way. And that's on that comes with the training provider. And they have monthly one-to-one sessions just to check how you're doing and give you targets, tell you where you can improve and things like that. And he was actually saying to me how beneficiary they think it's been to work within a small business, because the responsibility and the different experiences you get to have. Normally apprentices, if you work for a bigger business, you don't get to do those kind of things. So, you know, normally in terms, for example, running our social media, an apprentice would probably get to do one post a month or have just a little say in running a campaign. Whereas being sort of the only person on marketing at PMS, I've been able to, you know, take control of it all. And it does mean you probably make more mistakes, but I think you learn a lot quicker, and it's helped me because I learn best from actually just doing stuff. And that's why I didn't want to go to uni. I wanted to just get out there and, you know, sort of work in the real world. So it's been really helpful for that side of it.
Dave, I've just noticed one of the questions is, how did we find the training provider and who is it?
Well, I can share my screen actually and show. So when you go on the government website, what you do, you just go search government and then find apprenticeships, and it will take you to a page just like this. And as you can see, you type in, you can either just browse for any apprenticeship available, or if there's something specific, you just type in a keyword here, for example, digital marketing, put in your location, and then search. And I think this time of year, there's a lot less available because most of the apprenticeships start either in around May time or like just before September, August time, because that's when a lot of people start the academic year. And it shows you the different training providers here, and they're normally within a local area. But one of the things I've had is since before COVID, the training provider I was with, you used to go up there once a month. You'd get to meet everyone, have your one-to-one meetings in person, but obviously now it's all done via Zoom, so we haven't actually had to go anywhere for it, which saves a lot of time, I guess. And then on the website you'll find all the information about the different training providers, and then the business you can work with as well. And then it splits your time to 80% of your time, so basically 4 days a week you'll be with your work, and then the other 20% is all about the training. So that will be attending like classes and workshops, and then also they let you teach yourself a lot of it as well, which I really enjoy, because then it's a bit more creative and you can work at your own pace. So, and that includes research and then doing different like tasks. For example, the last one I did was all about digital campaigns. So you have to do 3 digital campaigns throughout the duration of your apprenticeship, and that includes things like Facebook ads or trying to get email signups, anything like that. And then you just record it the whole time and then collate it into like a presentation at the end, and then you come up with an overall grade, and that counts for, like, as I said, like an A-level equivalent or a uni degree equivalent. It depends on what you do.
Jove, can you quickly share your screen with, so Jove also does monthly analytics, which I would never have the time to do. It's one of those things you sort of think, oh, I'll do it, I'll get round to it. But when you've got somebody else saying, okay, so he's just done this, it's incredibly professional. My husband actually said, oh, we've got people who, he works for a huge company who actually do these for us. And for me, it's a snapshot of the business. Jove has not, he's compared with the latest one, he's compared our August to last year, but also to last month. And sort of things like, did we reach our goals? And then key performance indicators for the future and stuff. I just wouldn't have the time to do it. So having somebody else on board who can present a snapshot of what's going on in your business, it has just been incredibly invaluable. And these then sort of feed into our plans for the next 3 months. So, okay, what have we done right? What have we done wrong? What do we need to work on? And that then obviously feeds into our goal setting as well. So if you want to just quickly go through, Jove, what you don't have to go through all the detail, but obviously sort of what sort of things you talk about.
Yeah, so obviously being a product-based business, you've got to go through the things that are most, the things you can look at that will help you sort of realize where you are, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, so things like that. So the biggest one for us at the moment is conversions. So that's how many people are visiting our website and then how many of them place an order. And we can see from this one, comparing it to, so the green is the last month, and then that compares it to August last year and then the previous month as well. And we can see how it's, so for this statistic, it's gone down, obviously. And then what I can do at the end is see that as it's quite like an important metric, we'll say, okay, why has it gone down? What's been going on? And then what can we do to get it back up? And then that can contribute towards building like an overall goal for the next 3 months. So, what we can do this, and then this will hopefully cause like an increase in visitors, and then also mean that there's more orders placed on the website, so the conversion rate goes up. And then we've just got like sales information, bestsellers, social media. And then this is a new thing we've tried as well in terms of reaching our goals. So if it's red, that means we're not as on track as we were, or if it's yellow, that means we haven't quite done it, but we're on the way to do it. But yeah, it's just a way of being able to sort of identify, I think, where you are as a business. And I mean, the previous reports we've done as well, it was just like on a Word document. You end up just writing out all your statistics, and it's not as easy to understand, and you sort of don't use it as effectively. Whereas what I've tried with this is actually using less metrics, but focusing on the important ones, only including important details that will help us grow as a business. But yeah.
Yeah, it's been, I mean, this sort of thing, it's a snapshot for me. And you know, the previous ones where it was sort of pages of info is, to me, it's just a massive turn off. Whereas this, I can think, great, I can understand that, and just by looking at it, okay, what's gone wrong? You know, why have, you know, why are those red? Why have we not reached those goals? You know, and we can sort of talk about, okay, well, you know, are the goals wrong? Are their goals right? And for me, having somebody in the business, I feel like if I hadn't got an apprentice, this sort of information would probably cost me thousands of pounds to have done externally. And I think by giving Jove the opportunity to, you know, to get to grips with all this information, I have told him he can't leave the business. Because basically I can't afford to replace him, you know. So but what you know, we're very much as a business about return on investment. So our next big goal is to earn enough as a business to keep him on as a full-time employee when his apprenticeship is actually finished. But I would absolutely recommend, you know, I would have another apprentice in a heartbeat, because you know, also you're helping these guys to form a career. You know, they're and apparently the statistics for kids coming out of uni, or adults coming out of uni, because they can't get jobs in their chosen fields, you know, and they've spent all this money, are now then doing apprenticeships. You know, so I just think, do an apprenticeship and don't have all the debt that goes with being at uni. You know, from Jove's side, but from a business side, it's just a massive bonus to us as a business. And because we're, you know, I guess we would be called a micro business, Jove has had to be involved with everything. So we recently, a few months ago, had a brand refresh. Jove was there every step of the way, so he's got to know you know, all about the fonts, the colors, you know, the artistic side of things, you know, all about how you talk about your brand refreshing on social media, you know, how you communicate. You know, Jove's in a very female oriented business, so, you know, what do you call yourself, Jove?
What do you mean?
You're a 50-year-old Sally from
No.
he's an honorary woman, you know, but he said he's got to get into a different headspace, you know. So it's been hopefully interesting for, you know, for him as and I just don't think big companies who offer apprenticeships just don't offer, because the other apprentices who are with you, you know, don't get the same experience, do they?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a few on there that are, we're all sort of meant to be doing the same, like working in the same industry, but then because they're working for bigger companies, I remember we had a meeting where he asked everyone how we were getting on with the digital campaigns, and I think I was on my third, and other people were still sort of struggling on the first, just because they couldn't really get have as big as impact because it was a bigger company. Whereas here you get you get to sort of, with a smaller business, you get to have a bit more creative freedom. And then it's also, you're not just involved in the digital marketing as well. There's a little bit of, you know, business development, things like that, which I enjoy, because, you know, at this point, it's all about learning and seeing what different experiences you can get. So yeah, that's been really helpful.
Thank you, Gemma and Joe. Joe, can you tell everyone how old you are, please? Not 50, Sally, because I'm really, I'll take that because I'm much older, but what age are you actually?
I just turned 18.
And listening to you has been, there's lots of questions in the chat, so if Rob would like to just ask them, because I might, if other people got some other questions, it'd be really useful to have that conversation now, if that's possible, to learn some more.
Definitely. I'll have a quick look at the chat. Can I be really rude and ask my question
Yes, please
first?
do.
By the way, I thought it was brilliant. And I've been running my business for 8 years, and I've sort of looked at employing people, and I've looked at apprentices, but never gone down the route. And I think, having listened to you two today, it might be something I might be doing as soon as possible. Sadly, you don't want to work with me. You want to stay working with your mum, but you do some amazing. So fantastic. What my question was though was, how long is apprenticeship for? Is it like a year? And then, I mean, I know you said you want to keep him on in the business, but after a year, will he leave, or after 2 years, will he leave, or what happened? I mean, obviously, it's not, you know, because obviously, how long is it for?
You can go for it, Joe.
So it does depend on different industry, but with mine, they say 16 months, and then it's 13 is just doing the apprenticeship, and then there's 3 months at the end when it can be, they'll like assess you, and you do a 1 week project, I think, and then you have sort of like a mock interview as well, and then you've basically got 3 months to do all that. But it's a year and a half. It's not normally between that amount.
And then after that, obviously, you can decide to either stay on if it works with the business, or to do whatever else you want to do, I guess.
Yeah.
And you can go on and do a further apprenticeship as well if you want to.
Well, with the same, I mean, could that work with the same business as well, I guess? So you could do a second apprenticeship with the same company, or like I guess like the degree equivalent or what have you.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was my question. Let me jump on the chat and see what other questions we had. Why is it's not opening for me? Oh, here we go. Oh, sorry. So one of the questions, they're all from you, aren't they, Sally? So one of the questions. So question from Paul was, who was the trainer provider? I think we covered that, didn't we?
Who is your training provider, Jove?
Is there an actual company's name? Or,
it's Impact Futures, and they're based. I'm not too sure, but I know on our program we have like people from all up and down the UK. There's people up in Sheffield, for example, and then obviously I'm down here in Guildford. But that's the good thing about it being on Zoom. It doesn't really matter where everyone is.
Yeah. Okay. And you've never met up with them in person, so there's never been a sort of That's seems a shame. So the question said is, how long does your apprenticeship last for, which we've done? And what happens afterwards? I guess we covered that as well. And also, I think you mentioned, Sally, about the training, but that's again been covered too. So obviously that was one day a week, wasn't it? So question from Viv was, how do you find the training providers? But that again, you can talk about that in the website. It's not the Gov website.
Yeah, you just I think we searched up government apprenticeships, and it takes you to the government website, which is it's quite easy to use, and then it gives you like the different options, the different ones available. It has all the details, so sort of what the wages that they offer as well, and then you literally just sign up and follow all the steps, and it will offer you like the training provider, and then show the businesses that will take you on as well.
Fantastic.
Another question that I asked, to be very rude, was right at the beginning, some councils offer this advice, don't they, for the apprenticeships? And did you not go to one that was hosted at Harbour Hotel or something with one of the councils? No, that did not work.
No, we didn't, but there are apprenticeship shows that you can go to, and that's usually companies looking for apprentices to have. Yes, unfortunately the woman we were dealing with has actually left now, but there are people sort of in the council. I think if you probably phone the council and you said, I'm a small business and I'm looking for an apprentice, they would probably be very helpful. But you can get apprenticeships in anything. So a friend of mine has a bread company and he's looking for, you know, an apprentice baker, you know, so yeah. I've just noticed another question's just come in. We've confused someone.
Yeah, it's about regarding the payments. Obviously, who pays? It's obviously the salary is paid by the employee, I guess. Is that right? Is it paid by you, Gemma? Or?
Yeah. So how it works is the government actually pay the training provider. So Impact Futures will get paid by the government for hosting apprenticeships. We as a business don't pay for Jove to do his apprenticeship. We pay Jove's salary. So that you as a business will be responsible for the £4.83 or whatever it is an hour. Some businesses I know sort of say, okay, I can afford to pay you £150 a week. And you can sort of negotiate it that way. The extra money that the government give you, so the £3,000 if they are over 18, plus the extra £1,000 if they're under 18, you can use however you like in your business. So you can choose to top up their salary. You know, we bought Jove a laptop, and that's supposed to be sort of a little bit of an, they call it an incentive, an apprenticeship incentive, but the government pays that to the business directly.
Okay. And did you have I mean, obviously you wanted it to be a son, but for someone like myself, would you have a choice? Would you have a few different, you know, kids or young people to you had sort of, you could interview and decide which ones you want to work with and sort of see if the sort of chemistry between you and And I'm guessing, sorry, asked another question as well. But I'm guessing a lot of it, because I mean, I work from home, but a lot of people are working from their home now, I guess, because of the sort of COVID world. So you don't have to have an office as such. That's one thing that's often put me off, was having, you know, not having an office where, you know, I don't want someone working this room with me. There wouldn't be enough space. But a lot of it, I guess, they work from their own houses or their own places.
Well, yeah. So I have a workshop because I'm doing a lot of making or whatever all the time anyway. So I'm in the workshop, and Jove has an office in the house. So so actually most of the time, I mean, Jove wasn't working from home yesterday. He decided to go and work somewhere else, so he can kind of do whatever he does. And actually it's quite funny because, you know, we've got a Zoom meeting this afternoon together, you know, about the business. So, and we choose to do it that way to keep it, you know, although we're mother and son, we sort of, the business is quite a professional,
of course,
you know, way of doing it. So we will sit in different rooms and have a Zoom meeting about the business. We don't sit, you know, in the kitchen together or anything. But I think obviously if you know, like, you know, if you're a bread maker or something, then it's completely different. But I think if anything that can be done on a laptop from home, it's really easy.
Thank you very much. I found that fascinating, and I really appreciate your time today. Thank you, Joe, for sitting with the old people as well. That was really interesting. So look, you were getting a round of applause by anybody. That's brilliant. So really insightful, and we as a networking group would welcome some feedback. So if all you lovely people can put some nice comments on our social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and obviously subscribe to our YouTube channel, we will include all those links to you so that you can do that for us if you wouldn't mind. Thank you. We have I would like, if possible, before we sign off, because I've got some good news and some exciting news to all tell you, but I'd like to just go around the room and explain who we are to each other, because we didn't get enough time on our first breakout room. So would it be possible, Viv, for you to tell us who you are, what you do, and how we can help you, please?
Yeah, my name is Viv Sage. I'm an HR consultant. I live in Twickenham. And what I do is I help small businesses with recruitment and with terms and conditions of employment and all of the issues concerning employing people. So I write employment contracts and handbooks and all of those sorts of things for small businesses.
Great, thank you, Viv. How about you, John?
I'm John Shackford. I take care of the boring but critical, the stuff the government wants you to file. So I do all the tax returns for individuals, companies, trusts, you name it, we do it. Yeah, I do anything from payroll up to corporation tax returns. And if I could just plug something that isn't my business, I'm going to share a link in the chat. I was wondering if people could share it on their social media. I go off on my second castaway on Friday for the Royal British Legion, hence why I'm looking very unshaven. I'm not normally like this. But please, if you could share it, I'm trying to raise a little bit more money for the Royal British Legion. If people want to see me suffering on an island in the desert, in the Lake District, I'd love for people just to chuck some money at the British Legion to make my pain worthwhile.
Thank you. We'd be very happy to do that. I'm a supporter of the British Legion too, so I completely understand that. Thank you very much and good luck. When do you go?
Friday morning, yeah, it kicks off at 4 o'clock Friday afternoon in Ravenshill in the Lake District.
Well, I wish you all the best and dry weather.
It looks like it's going to be very wet, but thank you.
Paul, Glyn, please let us know who you are and how we can help you.
Okay, thanks. Yes, as I was saying earlier, I'm part of the SANA network. We are an international network of folk who are trying very hard to look after businesses particularly business owners who have got into business, wanted to be really, really good at what they do, and then realize they actually have to find some clients as well. And that's really quite kind of hard. And they didn't mean to join, to start a business to become a salesperson. So if you're very, very keen not to be in any way a salesperson and come across as anything as horrible as that, we've got systems and processes to help you be very professional about getting your revenue generation working for you. But obviously, we also work with very large organizations as well, even to the point of international ones as well. So if you know any sales teams that could do with actually being able to sell for a change rather than just push product, very happy to talk to them. That's Paul Glyn from Sandler.
Thank you very much, Paul. I really appreciate that. Cheryl, please explain to what else, because we were lucky enough, the girls, to be in a room by ourselves.
Yes, I'm sorry, I'm going to repeat myself, ladies. But good morning, everyone. I am Cheryl. I basically own Havers Counselling, or I'm the therapist at Havers Counselling. So I'm a therapeutic counsellor, mental health and wellbeing practitioner. I am predominantly from a sales corporate background. So I work with business owners and high company executives who are basically struggling with the mental health struggles and difficulties that come with working with large teams, making huge decisions, and who are finding that sometimes what people are seeing on the outside isn't what they're feeling on the inside. So yeah, I basically work offering help with positive growth through change and development. I am basically building up my practice, so I am looking at that level for people that are needing my help. I work online and in person. I have a practice space in Ascot, Berkshire, and like I said, I also work online. So yeah, that's me.
Thank you very much. Rob, how about you? Please tell everyone what you do.
Yep, I'm Rob Holmes. I run a business called Vinegar Creative, which is a branding, design and digital agency. It means we help our clients with their identities, whether that's coming up with their logo or designing their marketing, leaflets, brochures, exhibition stands, and building websites. We about 60% of our business is web-based, so building websites in WordPress, Squarespace, Shopify, all that sort of stuff, helping companies get online, sell their products online, and build an online presence. So yeah, that's us. Rob Holmes from Vinegar Creative.
Thank you, Dave.
Hi, my name's Dave Webster Consulting. We're based in Reading and we help people with all forms of technology. One of the things that you might want to look at, I was in Brentford a couple of weeks ago, and 5G is getting very popular now. So you can save huge amounts of money by ditching your landline and moving over to 5G broadband, which will start around £15 a month.
Thank you very much. I love my landline, so I'm a little bit old school, like my landline. I'm Sally Rule. I'm the homologist, and I empower homeowners to make the right choices when preparing and planning to present the home to sell. I also find your next home too, for rental and for purchase. Thank you very much indeed. I'm conscious of time, and I'd just like to explain to all of you on the Zoom call today that we have got a save the date on Wednesday, the 19th of October, as we're hosting 3 speaker presentations at the Onslow Arms in West Clarendon. They're going to start on the hour. We'll have about 30 minutes presentation, 15 minutes for Q&A, and 15 minutes for a conference break, so that we can have 3 speakers and then open networking and lunch, should you choose. The venue will be providing teas and coffees and waters, and hopefully some pastries on for breakfast. But we're starting and inviting people from 9:30 to start at 10 o'clock. So if you'd like to join us, we've got a limited number of seats. We've got about 16 seats left. So if you'd like to do that, please let us know, and we can send you all the details and give you some payment. Now, the payment will be £30, and we're offering an early bird for £25 until the end of September. So if you know anyone that would like to join us, please let us know, and then we can furnish you with all the details.
Sorry, Sarah, please tell me the date again. Sorry.
Wednesday, the 19th of October.
Thank you. Thank you.
So our next meeting online on our Zoom monthly meeting will be 16th of November, when we will be hosted. The presenter will be Jane Tyson, who will give us some insights into her business and how she helps people. And I just hope you all enjoyed today. Is there time for another networking breakout? I think we're probably near to time, are we, Dave?
We've got 10 minutes, so we can do that if everyone would like to do that.
Everyone would like to do another breakout room. Let's do that. Then we can close up, and then we can say goodbye and thank you to you. So let's have a.
I need to go, Dave, so don't count me in the breakout.
Or you're in a group of 4, so it doesn't matter. All right.
Thank you, Viv, for joining us.
Cheers all. Bye.
Bye. Oh, well, I have no idea. We're going again. I don't know why we can't get back to the main.
I think we are in the main. We're in the main room, aren't we?
Perfect. Just nobody else is coming to join us.
That's right. They'll be there in like 30 seconds, I guess.
My goodness. I hope I haven't moved everybody.
No, I don't think you would have done.
I'm not technically, I'm sort of technically challenged. So it seems that we are the only people in the room.
At the moment.
I bet. Oh no. Oh. I thought Paul and I were the only ones left, and I'd done something and I hit the button and I'd removed everybody else. So I'm very glad you're back. Thank you very much indeed for that. Thank you very much for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you Wednesday the 19th of October and Wednesday the 16th of November. We'll send everything out by emails in the next couple of days to give you the links. Please subscribe to our social medias, and can we just thank again Gemma and Joe for presenting to us today, because I think that was fascinating. And
Yeah, thank you.
And it's goodbye from me. It's goodbye from Rob.
Cheers, guys. See you later.
And it's goodbye from Dave.
Bye, everyone.
Lovely to meet you. Goodbye.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.